Here are things that TikTok convinced me that I had or that I was. First thing, you bitches convinced me that I was fucking pregnant, and I believed it for a good 3 months when I wasn't fucking pregnant. One day I came on this app, and for some reason, I guess I told you guys my boobs got bigger, and I was like, it's so weird, like my boobs have gotten bigger. I just turned 23, and they're growing like so fucking quickly. Every single comment was like, girl, you're pregnant, like you're pregnant, you're definitely pregnant. And I was like, no, you guys, like I can't be pregnant, like I haven't been fucked in like 6 months. Like I have not been fucked. There's no chance that I could be pregnant. I was like, guys, like I'm actively getting my period. Like I'm not fucking preggo, but I was really concerned because my boobs were growing massive. And I was like, I'm not gaining weight. It's just my boobs are just growing so fucking big, right? My comments were filled with like, girl, you can be pregnant and still get your period. Like go take a pregnancy test. Like you're definitely pregnant. So then I call Sissy having a mental fucking B. Anytime I have a mental breakdown, like I just have to call Sissy. Like Sissy just kind of just, yeah, she's who I go to for my mental breakdowns. Like, Sissy, I'm fucking pregnant. Like, what am I gonna do? She's like, bitch, no one's even touched you in 6 months. How the fuck are you pregnant? I was like, I don't know, but TikTok told me I'm pregnant. She's like, have you been getting your period? I'm like, yeah, but like TikTok also told me I can like be getting my period and be fucking pregnant at the same exact time. They're like, I'm like, that's why TikTok told me my boobs are getting bigger. It's because I'm fucking preggo. She's like, you need to stop believing everything you like are reading on TikTok. I'm like, I fucking cannot. And I'm in my head thinking I'm fucking pregnant and I haven't been touched in 6 months. I'm like pissed. I'm like, God, like I swear to God, I won't fuck losers anymore. Just like, please don't make me pregnant. Like fucking please. I actually sat and thought about it and I was like, wait, like I have not been fucked in the sense that I could get, like he hasn't came inside of me. Like I have not been came inside of since fucking July. So like if I'm pregnant, I'm having the baby at any fucking minute. So like that I'm not pregnant. I sat there like, goddamn, that mental breakdown was like so unnecessary because like I just thought I was fucking pregnant for no reason, just because I believe TikTok. Like when you do have like hundreds of people telling you you're pregnant, you're gonna think you're fucking pregnant. This next thing, I convinced myself that I had parasites. The time on TikTok that everyone was like, eat those papaya seeds, girl, like to get rid of your parasites. Like apparently like everyone had fucking parasites and my For You page was filled with like the parasite TikTok. So I was like, okay, this is a sign from God above that I have fucking parasites and like I just need to figure out, because I had like all the symptoms to it, like, and the symptoms were so like generic, like tired, exhausted, sleepy. I'm like, oh my God, I have every single fucking one of those symptoms. I was out here eating papaya seeds like it was my fub. I remember telling my best friend, I was like, yeah, like unfortunately I have a parasite. She's like, did you do a fucking test or anything? I was like, no, like TikTok literally told me I have a parasite. She's like, bitch, you must be so fucking dumb. Stop eating those papaya seeds. Like, you do know how hard it is to get a parasite? And I was like, you don't get it. Go to part 2. My best friend, she's a registered dietitian, and she was like walking me through why I don't have fucking parasites. But for a fat minute, I feel like if I didn't talk to her, I probably would have taken myself to the hospital and been like, I have parasites. And they would have been like, bitch, the fuck you don't. You just don't get sleep. This next one sends me because like, no, this is all your guys' fault and I should not have listened, and I'm about to spill some fucking tea. You guys had me convinced this man was my soulmate. It was Mr. Mans, and like if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the entire date like unfold on Instagram or whatever. I made a fucking story about time about this man that like I was like, he's such a good guy, and then he DM'd me and he was like, I'm in town, and I was like, oh my God, like you guys were like, he is your fucking soulmate, shut the fuck up. You know what, maybe this one's my fault a little bit because I feel like as if you guys are my best friends, so I trust everything you fucking say. So I'm like, you're right, like why the fuck would he not be my soulmate? Like shut up, like he's my soulmate. Whatever, I went on the date. As I'm on the date, I'm sitting across from him like, I remember why I ended things with him. I was so fucking bored. I was like, we just do not have like chemistry like that. Like, we literally just don't have chemistry like that. Like, whatever. This is not the guy that I'm currently talking to. This is like Mr. Man's way back. Guy I'm talking to now is green flag. This is Mr. Mans. I literally was like, girl, he's your soulmate. I was getting DMs up the asshole. He's your soulmate. He's your soulmate. So I'm like, you know what? Like, maybe I'm just being a fucking bitch. Maybe he is my soulmate, whatever. We go back to my apartment. And this is probably, like, I honestly should probably, like, stop sharing right now, but I'm not going to. This is my first time being touched since fucking September. It was basically the Virgin fucking Mary at this point. Like, quite literally a virgin. You know, when you haven't been fucked in a while, I feel like you can just, like, go a really long time without having sex and, like, not thinking about it. Like, you just have to get past that 3-month part, and I was like almost at a year of like not having sex, but I was like, oh my God, he like could be my soulmate. We fucked before, like let's fuck again. It was the absolute worst sex of my life, and I'm like, huh, that's why I fucking ended things, because 1, we literally don't have a connection like that. Number 2, the sex is fucking horrible. Guys, I was so mad. I was so fucking mad, and I came back on here the next day, and I was respectful. I was fucking nice about it. I was like, guys, I honestly think we're just like better off as friends. Like, yeah, whatever. Cause like whatever. I could have came on here and been like dick whack as fuck. Like, I don't need this. Fuck all of you guys. I hate you all for thinking that he was my soulmate. Whatever. Oh, I was like, we're just like better friends. And I'm reading my comments like, she just can't accept a nice guy. Like, she's never gonna find love because she can't accept a nice guy. I wanted to comment back, Rebecca, he doesn't know how to fuck me. Like, why would this man be my soulmate? He doesn't know how to fuck me, but he's my soulmate. Thanks, Rebecca. I just can't accept nice guys. No, he can't fuck me. Anyways, the next thing TikTok convinced me was that like chlorophyll water was gonna make me a better woman. You know what? I don't think chlorophyll water worked for me. But those are the story times. I am supposed to be in Miami right now, but I had the most hectic day. It all starts with last night. There's a couple of things you need to keep in mind before I tell this story. The number one being that I fly standby. I had a 7 a.m. flight this morning, so I normally book my Ubers before I go to the airport. And I was with my sister, I was with Izzy, and I was like, I don't know why, I just like don't want to book this Uber right now. Like, I don't want to schedule this Uber, I'm not really sure. And then I was like in my head, because I'm going through something, fucking obviously I'm literally going through something. And I was like, I don't know if I want to go to Miami, but I was like, no, like Miami would be good for me. Like, I should go to fucking Miami, you know what I mean? I checked the flight before I go to bed yesterday, and it's like, there's literally like 30 open seats. I'm like, okay, perfect, I'll be good, because I can check the seats for standby. I'm like, perfect, I'll be good. I wake up at 4:30 in the fucking morning this morning, and immediately get like this weird urge. I'm like, I don't feel like I should be going to Miami. Like, I don't know why. I look at the flight, and all the seats are booked, and there's 18 people on the standby list. Like, last time I checked, there was probably like 10 people. Now there's 18 people on the standby list, and every single seat is like taken. I'm like, okay, that's fucking crazy for that to happen overnight, but like, I'm new to standby, like, is what it is. I'm like sure that this happens a lot. I just kept feeling this feeling that was like, don't go to the airport right now. Like, just whatever you do, like, don't go to the airport right now. I was like, okay, whatever. So I look at the other flights. There's one that leaves at noon, and there's like 50 open seats. There's so many. Okay, I'm being dramatic. There's like literally 17, 20 open seats, and not a long standby list whatsoever. So I'm like, okay, perfect. Like, I'll get on that one and I'll just sleep in and I can leave later. I check an hour before I go to the airport. I'm like, perfect. Like, there's still 20 fucking seats. I'm like, there's still 20 open seats. Like, this is so good. Mind you, since I do fly standby, I kind of show up to the airport late. Like, I don't need to be there the 2.5 or whatever, the 2 fucking hours before that everyone like tells you to, because I literally find out during boarding if I'm getting on the fucking plane or not, so I don't need to be there that early. I get through security, I check this flight, and almost every seat is taken. I'm like, what the fuck? Am I just like not meant to go to Miami this weekend? Like, I'm just so fucking confused. So I know it's Memorial Day weekend and flights are super busy, but I was checking between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So I'm like checking all these fucking flights, but this is where it gets like weird. I end up not getting on that flight by one fucking person, like literally one person, whatever. They roll me over to the next flight. Mind you, now I'm extra in my head, like, should I be going to Miami? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I don't know. I've never experienced this with standby. And I was going to buy a plane ticket for like $200. I checked to go buy it. It goes to like $500 for a one-way. I'm like, never fucking mind. We're good. I roll over to the next flight and I'm waiting for this next flight. Meet a friend. Hi, April. We're like doing the standby shit together. She's so fucking nice. And as we're waiting to figure out if we get on the flight, like, I can see the seat map and there's like open seats. So I'm like, perfect. Like, I'm going to get on this fucking flight. Like, you need to keep in mind, my dead friend is a pigeon to me. That sounds so, she's a pigeon. Go to part 2. So my dead friend's a pigeon to me. As I'm waiting to see if I'm gonna get on this flight, a fucking pigeon is walking through the Newark airport. Why the fuck would there be a pigeon in the airport? Like, pigeon, what the fuck are you doing there? Since my friend had passed, everyone always knows she's a pigeon. My roommate will walk into the room and be like, oh my God, she's here, because a pigeon is just like, she's a fucking pigeon. She would be like pissed to know that I think she's a pigeon, but she's a fucking pigeon. I'm like, what is this bitch trying to tell me? Like, what the fuck is she trying to tell me? I think I'm getting on this flight to go to Miami, and then who's running the gate says absolutely nothing and just closes the boarding, and we're like looking on our apps and we're like, wait, there's like open seats, like there's fucking open seats, and we're like, okay, like, guess I didn't get on that fucking flight. Which, like, that's fine. I understand this is like the standby process. Kind of weird. Not sure what he was doing, but like, go off, king. The main reason this is all so fucking weird is because I've been talking to my dead friend a lot recently. I've been yelling at her, like, why do you send me the worst men ever? Like, all yesterday, I just like talked to the air and like I talked to her a lot. And I've never had like the gut feeling that's like telling me not to do something and I get confused with my gut feeling and anxiety, like whatever. But I'm like, why is she in the airport with me? Like, what the fuck is she trying to say? Then roll over to the next flight, and me and my friend April were like, doing this whole thing together, and April's like, I'm gonna fly into West Palm Beach. I'm like, maybe I'll fly into West Palm Beach. And she's like, yeah, I'll just drop you off in like Fort Lauderdale, and then you could go to like Miami from Fort Lauderdale. I'm like, oh my God, perfect. That's like a 2-hour fucking drive. I'm like, this is like a lot, you know what I mean? Like, this is just like a fucking lot to get to Miami. And like in the back of my soul, I'm like, I don't think I should be in Miami. Like, I don't know what the fuck the feeling is. I'm like, I don't know what this is, because like Miami's supposed to be fucking healing for me this weekend, and like the hassle to get there is like so intense. April boards her flight. I decide to not go to West Palm Beach and then travel an extra 2 fucking hours, because like I'm like, that's just no. The next flight that I roll into books completely. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna like, no. I call my mom. I tell her everything. I tell her about the pigeon. I'm like, I think she's trying to talk to me. I don't know what the fuck she's trying to say. 2 minutes after I get off the phone with my mother, the fire alarm goes off in the airport, and it's like, everybody evacuate immediately. Then someone comes on and is like, you don't need to evacuate, like whatever. But I'm like, the fire alarm's going off. I'm like, this is just so chaotic, so stressful. I'm like, is this what she's trying to tell me, to like go home? I'm like, why the fuck does my dead friend want me in New York so bad? Like, why the fuck does my dead friend not want me to shake my ass on a yacht in Miami this weekend, like my plan was to do? So it's just been a weird day. I'm not that upset about the flights and stuff. I'm more like confused, because I'm like, what the fuck is this feeling that I have to be in New York this weekend, and why did I see my dead friend in the airport being a fucking pigeon? Like, I'm just confused, you know what I mean? I think anyone would be fucking confused in this situation. So it's just been like a chaotic and weird day. And I know she has something to tell me. I'm like, bitch, what are you trying to say? I have been talking to her a lot. I'm like, fuck these dumb men that you send me, bitch. What is that? And then I'm like, send me a good one, bitch. Send me a good one.